Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the LPZZ or UPF Batman Arkham Knight, aka obviously Red Hood. That was the worst plot twist ever. We knew it was Red Hood from the beginning, and they should have just made it Red Hood from the beginning. That's my opinion, but it doesn't matter because it's still a cool enough design, and we have some cool figures, and here's one of them. So, this guy, I think he is... I don't know if he's the best, but he's certainly better than Deathstroke, and Deathstroke was pretty darn good. So there's some really nice stuff going on here. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. All right, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. It is a good package, not necessarily the most attractive, but it's definitely fine. If you're the type of person to buy high-end articulated collectibles and then just look at the box, this may not do it for you. It's very much just a black box with slight bits of color. You can see he's there, but just barely. And so, you know, there's not a lot to look at, but it does hold the figure and probably costs more than it should. I don't, like I said in the other review that I did the other day about packaging, I'd rather the money go to the figure, but it is nice packaging if you're into that sort of thing. All right, this guy is not available at Big Bad Toy Store because it is not licensed for North America. Unless they buy some inventory from another store and then put it up, it's not there. So I'll put a link to something down there if you want to buy things, but not this. All right, so he stands roughly, we'll just say 17 centimeters. It's pretty close to that, and that's going to make him just about 6 3/4 inches. Here he is up against Darwin. They're not actually 1/12 scale, unfortunately. Nobody's doing it right, because Darwin's already out of 1/12 scale, and these guys are 1/12 scale, but even bigger. Are we just done with scale at this point? Should we just say action figure and not even list it? Let me grab Batman for you. Oh, why did I put him so far away? It's so far away. All right, here's Batman. This is the pose he had in my display, so I don't want to knock those batarangs out of his hand. That was such a pain in the ass to get him to balance in there. But here he is up against Batman. Size-wise, is he supposed to be bigger than Batman? Or at least the same height? I don't remember. Maybe? I guess it's fine. He does look kind of big compared to Batman. I think he's... yeah. I don't know about that. That looks a little bit weird. Let me know what you guys think about that. Okay, so let's, I'll just leave the guns in his hands, what the heck. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this guy. Aesthetically speaking, he looks pretty good. He's a little bit flat, given all the armor and everything. It's almost like he has no body underneath it. It gets very, very narrow front to back. But if you can look past that, he looks pretty darn cool. The details are nice. We do have, oh, by the way, he comes with all the blue gear on him, but F that, because Arkham Knight's not a character as far as I'm concerned. It's just Red Hood. I have all the red stuff on him. You do get the blue. We'll talk about that in the accessories. But yeah, the paint job is really nice, and it's the same for the blue, just it's blue instead of red. It looks really, really good. I don't have any complaints at all about the paint job. It looks like it should. The details on the helmets are very nice. Let's see if I can pick them up on camera. Yeah, there's a lot of glare, but you can still see them. There's a lot of nice detail. Really nice detail in there, so that's cool. Like that a whole bunch. Yeah, it's a really good looking figure. The sculpt is good. I have no issues with that either, except the one thing that drives me absolutely nuts with this figure, and it's kind of the same thing that happened with Deathstroke. Deathstroke had these straps that were just in the way and a problem. And this guy kind of does too. This set of pouches here and this pouch here, they both peg into his back with that little thing right there, and then they peg into the front, and they're just round pegs, but they never want to actually hang. And if you pose him, obviously you're not going to see it as much, but they love to just sit up like this, and it's freaking irritating. And in fact, when I first got it, I couldn't get them to sit down. I had to take them off completely and then peg them back in at the bottom, and now they move around a little bit more freely. It's not the biggest deal in the world, of course, but it is a nuisance, and be aware, these are very tiny pieces. You can mess them up, so if you're going to pull on them and stuff, be super duper careful. The peg is less than a millimeter. It's tiny in diameter, so just be very careful with that. This one is also super annoying. It loves to get in the way, and it's a harder plastic, or at least it feels like it. It's probably not. It gets in the way a lot too, but that one moves around. But this one is the real one. This one's the real pain in the butt, because it moves here, but then it just pegs in right here. Instead of like slipping underneath the grenade canisters, which would have given it a lot more room to play, it just pegs in, and it doesn't stay pegged in. Freaking ever. It falls out all the time, especially if you're posing the figure. Even if you're just handling it, it doesn't like to stay in. The straps are super annoying. I really wish they would have figured something better out with that. Especially since I don't think these straps are supposed to be connected to his wiener area. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember for sure. I wasn't focused on that part of his design, but that seems like an odd place to have straps connect. So is it supposed to just be like one strap that goes across? Like it goes up like that? Either way, the straps are super annoying. You can ignore them as you're posing him, but just be aware they will be in the way, and you are likely to break them if you're not careful. Okay, yeah, but otherwise, he looks really good. A very, very good looking figure for sure. So I'm going to give it I'm going to give it an aesthetic rating of 9.5 out of 10. It still looks fantastic, but be aware those straps are a pain in the butt, and even when they're down, they're not all the way down, and that's annoying. Okay, so for accessories, we do get all of the blue bits, which just replace all of the red bits. They look the same, so that's fine. You get the blue helmet, which has all the same types of features as the red helmet, but of course the little weird bat ears and the Arkham Knight design. Do people like the blue design with the little fake bat head? I thought it was just so corny and such a bad writing thing that I didn't like it. Then you get the unmasked head, which is pretty cool. But also he looks like he's about 50 years old. So is he supposed to be old? Everything about this version of Red Hood bothers me, except for the Red Hood parts. But yeah, it's a cool head either way. I'm sorry, that's a game thing, not a toy thing. Decent spread of hands, nothing crazy, but definitely enough. You do get his two main pistols. You get another little pistol. I don't remember him having extras, but whatever. Then you get the double combined up pistol rifle thing, which is just the most logical thing ever. And I'm surprised I didn't include his tank, which was 95% of the game. You get his rocket launcher, which is pretty cool. I guess it's more of a missile launcher, isn't it? I don't know what the difference is off the top of my head. You get the accessory of the missile, so that's nice. And you get a display stand, which does hold the figure up. So yeah, good spread of accessories, can't complain. I would say, I don't know, 9.5 out of 10. Some muzzle flashes would be cool. That'd be really cool. But that's pretty good, I think. All right, let's see. Can he pose? Because Deathstroke could pose, but not anywhere near as well as we would have liked. And I'll let you know, this guy, I think, makes up for it. As far as moving the head around, it doesn't look up maybe as high as you would want, but it's definitely enough. And it's debatable how high he's looking up with that goofy helmet design of his. But it does work. And then looking down, he does look down. We have a floaty piece back here that's hidden in the head that kind of hides gaps and stuff. But it doesn't work as well as... It's not like a Reval Tech, but it definitely will pose. And his collar does move around, though it gets in the way. So you'll be fine. It might be a little bit of a nuisance to get his head where you want it with the collar here and this floating piece, but it definitely works. So that's okay. For the shoulders, we have this mechanism where they slide in and out. You can get extra posability, or you just make him look buffer if you want broader anyway, because he's still very narrow. One thing that's weird, though, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it. How did I get it to work? They react with each other sometimes. There you go. If they're in all the way and you push one in, it pushes the other one out. It's just a little bit. It's not a big deal. It's just something I noticed. I figured I'd let you guys know. But yeah, you can pull them out. The shoulder pads are on a little hinge, or two little hinges, so they can get out of the way for posing the arm, and that works pretty nicely. No issue there. Better than horizontal. That's fine. Of course, you're going to get your full rotation. Tuck that back down if you want. You do get your bicep swivel, but it's a weird one because it's actually a ball peg underneath this. The elbow has a ball peg that connects into the upper arm. This is just a floating piece. It's hollow. But yeah, you can rotate the arm, but it also moves on that ball. So that's an interesting feature. Never even thought of doing that before. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I mean, it seems to be working here. But yeah, the elbows work. You get a nice deep bend. The elbow's a little gangly looking here, but it definitely there's so a little elbow pad. I don't know. Yeah, the elbow bend though, it's just kind of a weird looking elbow. You probably won't notice it while you're handling the figure. You do get rotation. I don't know how much you're supposed to actually get down here, but there is some. But you do get your rotation up here as well. And since this is a floating piece, you can force it around, but it doesn't. It tends to want to go with the elbow joint. For the wrist, they're ball hinges with a floaty piece. You get surprisingly good range out of them, so that's fine. No issues there. For the torso, let's see how well the torso works. Let's get these guys lifted up, and here we go. He can, just the upper joint. He can lean back not that far. I think this is a floating piece in the middle here. It's hard to say for sure. It doesn't lean that far back on the top joint, but on going forward, it leans very far forward. I'll take forward over back. Companies love to let us lean them back. Most poses are forward. Unless you're doing like some dive off of a building, mostly forward is helpful. So yeah, that's nice. Side to side is also really good at that top joint. I'm not 100%. maybe there's a ball peg between every joint. There's like 4 separate pieces here. Let's just do the overall, okay? So leaning back with all the joints, it's not much. Most of it's happening down here, but it does work. And then leaning forward with all the joints works really well. That's way more effective. A nicer curve and everything, so that's good. And then side to side, that also works really well. So I'm fine with that. I think forward and side is the best way to go if you're going to do torso articulation. And of course, it does rotate around different ways, so you should be fine with that. Now, these things, like I said, just an absolute nightmare of annoyance. So be aware as you're moving the hips, you're going to have to fight with these. You also have these like chaps-shaped pieces that are going to affect posability. Sometimes they want to go over, sometimes they want to go under. You'll have to fight with it, but you do get the range, and we have drop downs, so if you like drop downs, you get those. If you don't like them, they're not the worst. This version of them, they are okay. But with the drop downs and everything, bringing the legs out to the side works. You get the splits. Full splits, no nuggets, that should be fine. Going forward, oh look, this guy came undone already. Why would you peg it in when it has to move? Let it slip under the grenades. Goodness gracious, that's such an oversight that it's crazy to me. Just make a gap behind the grenades for it to have extension and slide underneath. Being disconnected constantly is annoying. Anyway, bringing the legs forward, using the drop down, you get really good range, but your pouches are definitely just doing their own thing. Don't love that, that's for sure. Again, you can deal with it, but it is super annoying, and that's the range going back. So yeah, the hips I think are the hardest joint probably to articulate effectively for most companies. At least he has the range there. You do get a thigh swivel, doesn't offer a ton, but it's there. And for the knees, really good range, good looking knee, no problem there at all really. That's nice. I like that. I like that a bunch. Is there rotation? Yeah, like a little bit, but I think that's just a matter of how it's connected. Like you probably aren't going to use it for anything. It doesn't really make sense, but it's there if you need it, I guess. For the ankle, there's a floating piece in here, which is nice. You can see that move, so you get good range going back. Not the best, but good enough range going forward. Ankle rocker is pretty good. It works. Feels like it's not going to, but then it does. And then the toe hinge, not the best toe hinge we've seen. It's a little bit loose, but it does work. So, and it's well placed and well enough sculpted. So yeah, I think his articulation is pretty dang solid. There are some weird quirks and features, but oh, I forgot to mention. So this guy's on a little hinge system, which lets him move in a little bit for bringing the arms across the chest. I forgot to show that joint, didn't I? Yeah. It's there. It doesn't do a ton. But because you have that ball peg over here, I'm sure that's what they put it in for, is to get the arm across the chest more, it works. Like, it's a little awkward, but it's definitely fine. You get a little bit of extra range out of this guy moving, and that ball peg makes up for the armor being in the way. So yeah, it's pretty dang good. Be careful though, tiny hinges on these pieces and on these pieces, and since they're interchangeable pieces, you have to be super duper careful if you're going to be swapping them out. I would say just leave them red, and and then you're good to go. But yeah, his articulation's pretty dang solid. I'm going to go 9.5 out of 10 on articulation. A few things here and there that could be tweaked, especially these damn straps, but otherwise it's pretty dang great. So now it's time for the final verdict. Easily buy this over the Revoltech. Like, it's not even close. If you like the crazy poses of the Revoltech, then obviously that's your thing. But this guy can get into some pretty darn good poses as well. His articulation works and he looks much better. So this is my vote for sure. I'm going to give this guy an overall rating, 9.5 out of 10. Some slight room for improvement here and there. Some weird, tiny details, but overall, excellent release. Excellent release. So yeah, that's my take. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but I'll be done there. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.